Erwin and Waylon ran across the sprawling streets as a squadron of a dozen property guards pursued them. The frontmost guard was holding something and glancing at it whenever the two teenagers tried to lose them. It was probably some sort of tracking device instead. Magical devices went haywire when flooded with enough raw magic, so that is exactly what he did. Feeling the outer layer of whatever the enchantment was crack under the pressure as he and Waylon dipped around another double corner. They kept running for a bit longer but soon realized they had lost their pursuers and stopped to catch their breath. A dangerous situation has arisen, not just across the slums but across the entirety of Eben Respite. The spectacled youth stood up with a severe expression. I have been investigating and can confidently say that the old swallow is dead. How certain are you? Almost completely. The old swallow broke the third tenet. Never, ever, steal from, rob, or threaten a Blackberg lest the Duke's bloodline shows you the wrath that had forged our duchy from dust. He tried to rob a fucking Blackberg. Yes, his eyes and blood had been turned pitch black while whatever took his head had been an impossibly clean cut, despite going straight through a vertebra. I believe he had been tortured and then killed by void magic. House Blackberg was crossed and they will retaliate. We will have to lay low and hide until the Blackbergs leave. The building they entered was actually at the very edge of the slums. There was a subtle shift in magic. A presence. Two actually. As they grew closer, Erwin felt his heartbeat spike. His hand shook and logic receded. All his attention was at the approaching auras. Drawing ever closer, two men stepped through the backroom door. Both clad in neat black cloaks, far better make than anyone would usually dare wear openly around the slums. One was an elder, while the other was younger, possibly below 30, and full of vigor. The old man was reserved and controlled, letting nothing slip past his facade, while his partner was radiating anticipation and hostility. Good morning to you, fine gentlemen. The madam put on a strained smile, gesturing to the two seats. What might you be looking for? They saw us coming. Is that a provocation? Calm. The younger of the two immediately turned towards his elder, and Erwin felt his heart immediately jump into his throat. Look at the situation first. Rage. The older spoke. See the quartz on the young lad's coat. Clearly a lesser magical item capable of detecting mana. You have failed to properly restrain your presence. Again. Good morning to you as well. Calm ignored his partner and sat down at the prepared seat. It seems a certain unpleasantness has come upon this fine town recently. Though from your stiff expressions, I do not need to explain. You call this wine? Rage also sat down, taking a single sip and spitting it back into the cup. Is this a provocation? Calm. Think about the citation first. Rage. Calm shook his head. Consider where we are. Being offered something to drink is already better than can be expected. I hate to interrupt you, fine gentlemen. Erwin bowed slightly in supplication. May we inquire as to what may be your inclination on this fine visit? Look at that. Calm. Rage burst out laughing. The whoreson thinks himself eloquent. Is that a provocation? Now, Rage. Look at his armband. He is not a whoreson but a thief. Calm maintained completely impassive expression. Look at that grimace. Calm. Rage stood from his chair like cold water poured down Erwin's back. Look at that mounting rage. He took his glass, still full, looked at it for a moment and then threw it straight at Erwin's face. Erwin barely dodged out of the way, some of the wine splashing on his face and clothes while the nice glass shattered at the far end. He dodged. Is that provocation? Calm? Sit down. Rage. You will follow the orders we have been given. For the first time, the old man looked away from them to stare. Rage down. I sincerely apologize for my partner here. Young and burning with too much passion. Bloodthirsty with no foresight. As to our business, it is, of course, retaliation. At which point, Calm reached into his coat, withdrawing a slick-looking pitch-black box. What would you have us do? The madam asked. Nothing too unreasonable. Considering your relation to the offense given. Calm nodded his head, giving the two of them some hope. Please, fill this box with 5 eyes of the personnel of this establishment by tomorrow. Irwin's mind halted, so did the madams clearly as they did not respond. They are not responding. Is that a provocation? Calm? We have delivered what we came here for. Rage. What about the thief? Rage's sight traced Irwin with malevolence once again. You cannot just kill every thief you see. Rage. Moreover, he is not on our list. Lucky you, huh? Rage stood up again, taking a long step around the table, and half leaning towards Irwin for a loud whisper. Better pray you are not on someone else's. That will be all. Calm stood up. You are forgetting one thing. Calm stood. Rage walked back to his partner, giving him what was clearly some sort of hand sign. Ah, yes. You are right. Great offense was given. After all. At that, Rage's face twisted into a horrifying smile, and Irwin felt his presence shift. The controlled shell ruptured, revealing beneath what should have been obvious as the man spoke. Run forever. However, none may avoid Maw of the Void. Irwin felt the magic take place with each syllable. The blackened presence of the void assembled in a beautifully terrifying form of a beast grafted from runes. It was gluttony and wrath. A jaw of magic, begging to be unleashed. Then the spell leapt, like a hound let off its leash. It was so fast. Irwin did not even realize what had happened before it flew past him, striking through the door leading upstairs. The scream of the eavesdropper followed right after before it was silenced with a sickening crunch. Irwin froze, still staring at Rage with wide eyes. As per our order, 5 eyes and 1 head. Calm nodded. We will not require the head physically. I hope you will excuse my tardiness. If you would, enjoy the rest of your morning and see you tomorrow. Then he stood up and left along with Rage. Slowly, so painfully slowly, he turned around, saw the blood and gore, and joined the cacophony of screams.